Hello everyone and welcome to the course of Research Methodology in Natural Sciences. So I hope some of you must have attended yesterday's TA session. I think that was the first TA session you had, and I hope you got the idea how the TA sessions will be. So the thing is, I will be presenting my screen now, and you. So basically, I'll show you how the things are. So, okay. Okay, kindly, yeah. So, okay. The thing is, I won't be able to maybe see the chat, or maybe I will try. Okay. Okay, I can see a chat, but I have to manually maybe enter it. Okay. So I hope the screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So,
Visible.
yeah, yeah. So,
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So, okay, okay. So it's a second session, and we have to constantly add it. No issue with that. Maybe we have to find some solution on auto
Sir, for the
imaging.
first session, can
Yeah.
we the YouTube link like
Mm-hmm.
for other courses we have YouTube link which comes later, so
Yeah.
the people who have not attended can attend it
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
likewise.
Yeah. Surely. 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 Actually, it's a part of the thing that we are doing with NPTEL. So
Yes.
all the sessions will be recorded and put up in YouTube. And the video, the YouTube link basically would be stitched with the directly with the course page. So you won't have to search for it. It just will be below the your course. Like you have week one, week two videos. There,
Yeah.
I think in the down you will have live session videos or such. I think it
Mhm.
should, as it is the first weekend, it has not started yet coming.
Yeah.
But I have seen that the first year has uploaded the video that I know. I don't
Okay.
think so. It has come to the maybe on the NPTEL site, but maybe in
Mm.
the next week I hope so. It comes out. But it's on YouTube. We like I also will upload by today only.
Yeah, that streaming link, if it is there, it will be
Hmm.
beneficial.
Okay.
Second question is how far
Yeah.
this is different from our modules, what is given, like these sessions.
So yeah, maybe I will just discuss while I'll show you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So so basically it will be good if you so it's for everybody that it will be good that if you speak up. The thing is as I am uh, as I'm presenting, some of the messages do get skipped up because I am not able to see the screen because I would be presenting in a sense. So the thing is, you if we speak up, then it will be more beneficial and easier for me to discuss. Okay. Yeah, somebody raised his hand. Okay. Okay. I think it's error. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody wants to speak up.
Or
Okay.
we can have the question and session at the end so that it
Yeah.
will be good.
Yeah. So the thing is, so welcome to the course, and as you might have known, the course instructor is Professor Soumitra Banerjee from IISER Kolkata, and I am Udiptya from IIT Madras. So just because it is the first class, I wanted to introduce myself, and so I have done my BTech in biotechnology from Delhi Technological University in the year of 2021, and I directly joined as a PhD student at IIT Madras. So in IIT Madras, I am in the Department of Applied Mechanics. So it has different sections in it, and essentially, I am from the section of biomedical engineering. Okay. Hmm. So yeah, and so currently I am so some of the research interests that I work on a daily basis involves fiber optic sensors. So in the current times of COVID and all these pandemics, all of us know the importance of diagnostics and how important it is as a public health tool. So basically, I am working towards that and detecting this DNA, RNA that has become a common name in the current times is something that is of my interest. And also, particular to that, I am also working on nanomaterial synthesis and characterization. So more on the biological side, but yeah, some of the things like nanotechnology and nanomaterial synthesis that's something that I'm exploring now. So I have also been at NPTEL TA for the last semester, and it was also a 12-week course. And essentially, then I didn't had so many people joining. It was a kind of a smaller course. People of around 35 students joined in it. So it as it is a I think a multidisciplinary or kind of an open course for all the research scholars. I think the domain or the students now has broadened, and it's nice that as an experience I am also gaining. So you all can reach me at this email address. You can just screenshot it, and I'll be happy to discuss anything that pertains to this course or beyond these two. Okay. Uh, so so the week one essentially involved something that I understood on some philosophical foundations of science. So So yeah, it doesn't look in the first sense it may not look like a completely technical subject, but a lot of philosophical thing has been is involved in science and research, and yeah, that's the contents of it. Like we discussed what is science, subjective thinking versus objective thinking, idealism versus materialism, and causality. So, as someone was mentioning that how should be the pattern of our these classes? So basically the NPTEL has suggested us to keep it for 2 hours. The thing is, I like to keep it like first half an hour is something that we discuss on the contents of the videos, something. So it's just what we got from the videos, and then maybe go on with the pertaining videos and how some of the sample problems. And the last half an hour is something that all can discuss, and we can come up with the whatever the problems you have, we can discuss the same. So I think that's a good that is something that is okay for all of you. Somebody has raised their hand. Yeah, you would like to speak up? Yeah, please.
No, thank you.
Okay, okay,
But
okay. No issue. No issue, no issue. Okay, so the thing is, the first video was on science, yeah. So we all, hopefully, everyone, so this course must have been a common course for all the research scholars. So I also being a research scholar have done kind of course that needs to be done like we have to do a course called Introduction to Research, and we have to do a course like this, and it's a must for all research scholars. So as in so I am also somebody who is starting with it, so I am also not an expert. So we shall discuss with it, and maybe we can debate too on what the things are. So uh, from the videos, we got to know that science is something that is our attempt to find about the truth about the nature. So we see a lot of things in our surroundings, and it's kind of a way to understand those things and also to spread it to the common people. Yeah, we as scientists has to document it and spread to the common persons, common people world, such that knowledge can be propagated and worked upon also. Okay. So it also involves a systematic way of seeking answers. So we need in scientific method. So we discuss about some of the methods that involves how to find a solution to a particular problem. Okay. Sure. So the thing is, what we observe is some of the so basically the science starts with something that we observe in the nature, and then we ask the questions like, why is it? What is happening? Why is the sky red and sky blue? And all these things are something that we observe, and this observation is something that we need uh, is something that needs to be a collective or cumulative experience. It's not like I have seen a UFO or I have seen a ghost and only you are seeing it. So it needs to be a collective. So you need somebody who can essentially back your experiences. So that is something that is a must thing in a science. It's not only a personal experience, personal perseverance. Essentially, it should be a collective or cumulative thing. Okay, so so we start with something that is observation. Yeah, we have to observe it, and then we design a hypothesis. We go on a research topic area. Basically, we narrow ourselves. We go on a hypothesis. We design our test and how to go with the experiment, and then we analyze the data. Uh, so somebody's asking, would you be discussing the assignment part as well? So assignment, as in I can't directly touch. So that's something that from instructor side I have been told. But I have tried to make problems which are similar to those. So that might help with the problem solving of those. I think it answers it because these assignments are marked essentially. So I can't yeah help with all this. Yeah, true. Maybe let me see if I can make somebody. Okay. So yeah, I have made another device as a co-host. So I think that thanks for the suggestion. Okay. Now I think I can go. Sorry for the management things. So yeah, so the one of the important thing is to organize, crystallize, and systemize the whatever observations we get. So and this is a like continuous process. Yeah, science is something that goes on continuously. As our daily life we see it. Yeah, our research never gets finished. We we go on with the experiment and we then get newer results, and that results boils down to another results, and this is a circle that essentially. But anyway, we have only 4 to 5 years to complete it, and so that's something that maybe the future researchers build upon on. So somebody's asking, yeah. So week two, so basically week two, no, no, no. Okay, so I don't know if before the week two videos we will have some sessions or not out of the three tiers. I'm not aware of, but
Hmm.
yeah, is it? I think what is the deadline of the 8th? Yeah, I think so.
8
Or
Feb.
8th Feb, yeah.
So Dipta,
So,
can you take the questions at the end because it's a general question.
mm,
So the your content we are getting digress from the content. So if you take the questions, all the questions at the end, it will be very good.
yeah, sure, sure,
That'll be
sure.
helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, sure, sure.
I think it will help everyone.
Yeah. The flow is something that is,
Yeah, it's getting
yeah,
stuck, and even you are getting trouble. Yeah.
yeah. Thanks. The thing is, week one was already discussed. The thing is, this course has a lot of students. So, in a sense, it has multiple TAs and multiple TAs discussing the same thing. With the thing is that because everybody might not be available yesterday, so they can join today. With that thing, they are basically making the three tiers to it because these courses have a lot of people involved, a lot of students, a lot of course takers involved. So that was the idea. But yeah, if somebody is joining second time or third time, it's good that that's the thing. So yeah. So we also discussed the nature of truth. So in that so there are a lot of theories that basically say what is truth, and so we in this course have learned about the correspondence theory of nature, so of truth. So basically it says that your ideas or your beliefs should essentially be correspond to the objective reality. And we also saw that how this truth needs to be continuously checked, modified, and corrected. Like with example, if I can tell, when this pandemic came, WHO had told us that we don't need to have masks and all this, and this virus does not spread through like from human to a human on in air. So basically, and then this thing happened, and then they had, I think, some tests or some experiments, and they modified the thing and corrected the thing. So in science, we need to be proactive. We need to be active to check it, modify it, correct it, and that's something that I think like directly affects the humanity. Yeah. And and also one thing that is truth is unique to given conditions. There is nothing called absolute truth, and we need to define it, like which space, which time, which temperature, or the other aspects of it to give a specific truth. So specific truth is always something that is always desirable in scientific world. That basically gives us the confidence and also the repeatability of that truth on a given condition. So, for example, my belief that there is a computer in a room is true when if and only if there is an actually a computer in the room. So this is something that the correspondence theory tells us. So if it is actually there, the objectively there, and then only this computer will be. So it's something that I'm telling truth. So essentially, if in science we go through a lot of false ideas, it's actually true to narrow it down and get the true idea such that that can be done. Okay. So we also learned about some subjective and objective thinking. So one of the important thing here is to learn what is object. So what object is something that is a real entity and exists independent of our perception of it. And subject essentially is someone who observes it. So our observer basically is a subject. So we have two kinds of thinking. So it's like point of view. Whose point of view? The subject point of view, subject point of view, or the objective point of view. So there are two thoughts process that we can have. So subjective experiences, as it is from an observer point of view, they can vary, and it depends who observes them. So like me, I can have a perception for a event in a different way, and other persons can have a observation in a different way. But essentially, the objective facts cannot be different from each other. Okay, the objective facts remains it. So, I so if I have to give an example, like I have a basically, if me and my friend goes out somewhere and it rains, so here I can have a subjective thought that, oh, why is it raining? Yeah. While my friend is like, yeah, it's good, it rains. So there are two kind of subjective experiences here. But the objective experience here, objective thing is here is it is raining. So objective does not change, uh, like it doesn't care what we are thinking as a subject, but it is something that is it doesn't depends on the observer basically. It will rain essentially. Just it's how we perceive it. So that is something that can be told as a subjective versus objective thinking. So in science, what kind of thinking should we is most is that the modern science follows? Can anybody write it?
It should be
Objective.
objective one.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Okay, okay. So another idea was on materialism and idealism. So now people mostly talk about materialistic things, yeah. But materialistic thing means you go on for money, you go on for houses, bungalows. So essentially, that is not the thing. That this essentially is the comes from the Marx theory of materialism and idealism. So if you can search upon this, so this is this kind of ideas of materialism and idealism. So it essentially tells us that reality. So there are two kinds of thoughts, yeah. That reality is independent of human thoughts. So everything is there in spite of I think or not think. So that is one kind of thing, and another thing is like everything is on is everything. Nothing is real, and everything is in my head. So whatever I think is due to that one. So these are two kinds of thoughts. So the first one is materialism, and the second thought is something that is idealism thoughts. So essentially, so in science, what we follow is a materialism thought process. So we have to think because in idealism, it essentially has a lot of biasness and the biasness from the subject or the person who is thinking of it. So such bias can offer. So basically, it can change the truth that we were discussing. So essentially, the truth is something that is unique, concrete, and it has to be same. So essentially, to negate such things, we go for materialism thoughts. And the last idea that we discussed is on causality. So on causality is something that is a concept that is really hard to understand, but essentially it discusses the relation between the cause and the effect, how this cause and the effect is related and all these things. So we can see that nothing happens without a cause. That is something that the thought of causality uh, they follow it. So they go for this nothing happens without a cause, and everything happens for a cause only. So it's like we can say that as a general belief so whoever studies more gets more number of more scores more. So that's kinds of a cause and the effect. So, such things are there always. So we had in this causality things we had three. So the Aristotle was somebody who first got the idea or documented it how this causality can have effects. So he gave in the book it has a nice example of a sculpture. Here I am giving the similar kind of example on basically how a table has been designed, where the different causes, the four causes that he told about. Okay, essentially, then there was David Hume's thoughts on causal connections. If there is A and B events, how these A and B events are connected causally. So there are three factors: the precedence, contiguity, constant conjunction, and so on that also they had different kind of modification. So can anybody tell who modified one of the David Hume's uh,
John Stuart Mill.
Immanuel Kant.
yeah, but so basically yeah the but somebody categorically collected the precedence law, this thought of precedence. So
So maybe Immanuel Kant.
yeah, Immanuel
Immanuel
Kant
Kant.
told. Yeah, so what was the correction actually?
Constant conjunction.
Yeah, so it essentially said that the effect cannot precede the cause. So whatever causes, the cause should be so effect. So basically, the effect should be after the cause. That's the thing. The effect cannot be before the cause happens. So that was something that Immanuel Kant had, a German philosopher, I think so, had corrected on this. And also the contiguity and constant conjunction was something that was debated a lot. That it has to be widely separated spatio-temporal. Spatio-temporal means space and time. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Causality says Karya Karana Siddhant. Oh, nice, nice. Okay. Thanks, Dr. Sidram. Yeah, okay, nice. Yeah, so it's always nice if people also provide their thoughts in it, and it's always encouraged. Thanks. And also we had the law of constant conjunction, that A and B always together. So these are something that are also like debated a lot. And then we had Stuart Mill, that John Stuart Mill's thoughts on classification of causal connections. So we had four methods of having this uh, on determining how this they are causally connected. So there are different four methods basically, and practically we will see how these methods are applicable in the situations. Okay. So there's a method of concomitant variation. So it's like how the two events are connected. Okay. 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 Social sciences background. Okay. I am thinking if I have some, okay, maybe, okay, maybe, okay, not, maybe this time I had designed some problems, but yeah, like from next session, maybe I can have some good examples of that. That's so. Okay. So we have method of concomitant variation, method of agreement, method of difference, and method of residues. So we'll discuss on that in the problem section directly. I will go here now. So coming to the problem discussions, I will first display a question, and people are encouraged to answer on the chat box, and I if and so after that I will ask somebody to basically unmute and explain the answer, and if it's okay for everyone, then we can go to the next question maybe. Yeah, that's how we will do it. So this is a problem one. Uh, so this is something that was from the previous previous assignment sets of this course. So, so this was not in the current one, so I had put it here. So you open the morning's newspaper and have an urge to read the horoscope segment. Interesting predictions, always. Yeah. You muse, if you only making predictions were possible. You fold up the paper and go about your day. To your surprise, by night time you find that many of the predictions have come true. What should your reaction be as a student of research methodology? Okay. So this is a multiple choice, multiple correct answer. So uh, yeah, you all can tell it. Yeah. So it's always nice to have maybe positive news in the morning, but yeah, depends. So what are the thoughts what are the thoughts will have? Maybe you can have more thoughts than the options given also. Okay, only C, is it? So as I told, it is a multiple correct. So it can have multiple correct. Essentially, one correct is also there. Okay, D. Okay, D is something that is very interesting. Yeah. Okay. I think my screen has gone. Somebody has. Can Mr. Rajiv? Yeah, you have. I think you have mistakenly projected your screen. Uh,
Your screen is there.
yeah. No, I think it's okay. Okay. So most of the answers are for C. Um, so nice. A can also be answered because horoscope is also a hypothesis. Mhm. True, true, true. Yeah. Okay. Uh, so, okay. So somebody, as everyone is telling C, some very less people have told D. Can anybody answer why D is the correct answer?
Because as a student of research methodology,
Hmm.
we might think of option D.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, that so how should a like as you are a student of research methodology, why what is the like idea behind doing that thing like?
Because when you read the paper, you have already the idea that all these
Hmm.
things are going to happen. This is being set in the mind, preset in the mind. And by the
Hmm.
end of the day, once you have faced all this,
Hmm.
then you assume that this has happened.
Okay.
So that
Okay.
is why we
Nice.
feel okay.
Yeah. Maybe for only for a student of research methodology, but anyway, if we are taking the horoscope at at the end of the day, it essentially doesn't get the purpose of the purpose of the horoscope done. Yeah. 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 Okay. So yeah, it's a good approach. As a scientific student, we can have that approach. And somebody's telling B. Why B is the correct answer? Somebody fast. Can I have answer?
If the source is not trustworthy enough, so B can be the
Hmm.
correct answer.
Like trustworthy is something. Yeah, like morning newspapers are I think trustworthy. Like trustworthy in a
How can you
sense.
trust Indian media?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Uh, yeah. So. And for C was the most popular option. So why you think C can be a right answer?
Because I read the horoscope, and
Hmm.
so my mind got hardwired in that way.
Hmm.
So it might be the fact that I am observing everything through the lens of that horoscope.
Got it. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. So essentially, yeah. Sometimes this horoscopes are written in a generalized. Yeah. No, newspaper is something that generalize the thing, and it is written in such a way. So it has lot to do with the how the writing has been done. So it is written in such a way that you believe that okay, it's for me, and this is a personalized information sometimes, and you take it in a sense, okay, uh, like this is totally correct for me. And option C, as you told, our mind gets biased. So I have seen people telling that you become like in astrologers tell some people that you will become a computer engineer. That guy is get interested in computer engineering. So yeah, that the example that you told is perfect. That yeah, our mind gets hardwired, and we tend to do things that we have read because we think, okay, this is had to happen. So it's something like that. And the thing is, yeah, totally scientific. It is very good that you read the horoscope and scientifically verify it. Okay, that thing happened or not. So somebody told A, yeah. So the thing was, the horoscope was indeed telling the truth. Is something that I told is it should. So basically, it's something on the corresponding theory that I told. That uh, the belief should always match the objective reality. So maybe today it matched, tomorrow it may not. Maybe it matched for you, but it has not matched for me. So the thing is, the correlation here is something that is something that is that can tell us basically this is a truth or not. And I think so. That's what stopping us from why option B. Uh, See, it's like people tell, yeah, today you will have some trouble. So the thing is, people in general have in their life have some trouble, or in their day might have trouble. So they will write it in such a way that okay, then you think, okay, yeah, in the morning I read that there will be some trouble. or you will in a way it will read that you today something good will happen to you, and so in a way so if something happens good in your day today, so you will, if something like small positivity also happens, you will get okay, the morning whisper or something that had told me before. So I think that is something that how this wording plays a big role in how these predictions are written. Mostly because it is a generalized thing in newspapers, yeah, how that comes from. I hope so I answered you.
So what is the correct answer?
So B, C, and D. So I told you it is a multiple
Okay.
correct kind of answer. So I think so B, C, D is the perfect, the suited ones. Okay.
Udipta, this horoscope was indeed telling the truth. That could be an hypothesis also, no? Like,
Yeah, it can
we-
be a hypothesis.
so
So all hypotheses are not true. That's also something, yeah. We can have
yeah.
hypothesis. Yeah, that hypothesis it's really it is a hypothesis.
Okay, so
Mm.
because all hypothesis is not true, so
Mm.
that's why A is not the option you want to
Not
say.
the option. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. So somebody asked, what is the marking given for MSQ? So really, I'm not aware anyway. So yeah, maybe uh, I am not aware actually.
1 point.
Okay. Okay. So it's same for the MCQ, yeah.
Yes, it's written beside the questions.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is a problem too. This is also from the last year's questions. So we have Mill's four methods of causal determinations, and you have to tell which one of them Madame Curie employed to conclude that uranium is radioactive. So, so this is also a multiple correct question. Okay. B, D, B. Okay. So I'll give around 2-3 minutes. So, just asking if anybody has any doubts on the four methods of these four, basically the four statements, yeah, the four statements that Mill give. If anybody has doubts, they can raise their hand or speak up. Maybe we can discuss it. Okay, Pradyum, please. Uh,
यस सर। सर, हमने
hmm.
2 दिन पहले कोर्स एनरोल किया है, इस वजह से हमें कोई भी आइडिया नहीं है इनके बारे में।
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So. Uh, like maybe that's the thing. I tried to I can't anyway go through the whole of the course. But the thing is, yeah, just have a primer. I had a primer, so uh, anyway we can discuss the things. Yeah,
ओके सर।
yeah. Just try. It's not something. Just we were showing that how the problems are solved, and maybe that will help once you go through all the questions, all the material of the class.
ओके सर।
Yeah, sure. So categorically, if anybody has doubt in any of the statements, they can ask, and anyway, we will discuss it. So what if we select? Yeah, tell please.
Udipta, this whatever the sessions
Mm-hmm.
you conducting, that
Mm-hmm.
what topics has been covered, that it is overall or some weak topics only has been covered, like how it is,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because this is randomly, if we have covered the first week or the second week,
Mm-hmm.
these all topics will be covered. How it is, like, can you explain that?
Yeah. So basically, what we do is we take up the three TAs will take up week one videos. So in some courses there are not three TAs. Like in my last course that I did in previous semester, it was a single TA course. I was a TA only. I was only TA. So basically, what we did is we took up the week-wise topics, week-wise videos. So basically, we also watched the videos and came up with the questions and made the questions. So some of the questions were so we had access to the previous questions also.
Mm-hmm.
So we can give some questions from then, and basically the primary source of questions are what we get to what we curate through watching the video myself. So basically, these problems are basically focused from these weeks, the week one videos. Essentially, the next Sunday we will go to the week two videos, and that
Okay.
goes on.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Sir, this is method of difference.
Okay. Yeah. So people are okay. So can anybody tell what is method of concomitant variation?
A varies along with B.
Okay. So that variation is positive, negative, what kind of variation?
Proportional.
Okay. So
It can
that
be in both
variation,
directions.
yeah. So that correlation can happen in both the directions. Method of agreement.
Conditions leading to B are different, but factor A is common.
Okay. Hmm. And method of difference.
One case B happens, while in another case it doesn't. It is due to the factor A.
Okay. And the method of residues.
There are four cases which lead to event B. There is P,
Hmm.
Q, R, S. And
Hmm.
P, Q, and S is not possible at a certain point of time. So R is only possible. So the R is the cause of S.
Okay, so basically we can negate the known causes. Yeah, that's the thing of method of residues. So whatever. So coming to the problem directly, it's how Madame Curie had employed these things where. So we had. What was the issue was that she was given that whether this uranium is radioactive or not. That was kind of the aim of the her PhD. Yeah. So she tried different different compounds that had different quantities of uranium, and she measured its radioactivity. Okay. So what kind of method is this one?
It's a
So
method of
if
concomitant
nice. So it was method of
because
concomitant variation.
because the presence of uranium it directly leads to the giving the effect of the presence of this radioactive.
Sure. Yeah. Similarly, so she also checked that whether without uranium,
Whether
uh, this
radioactive waste are not possible.
radioactive is not possible. So that is method of
Concomitant.
another other one
Agreement.
without not agreement.
Right?
So compounds without uranium. So basically, they were not giving radioactivity. So what kind of method is this?
Difference.
Yeah,
Method of
nice.
difference.
Method of
Method of
difference. Yeah.
concomitant.
Yeah, method of difference that this is something that we use in our experiments, the control experiments with one component not there to understand what is the effect of that component in the in our basically research setup or research system. That is also very much that is used. Yeah, I think it will be yeah. So anybody has doubts in it, and otherwise we can go ahead. Okay. So is a question on what causes a candle to light on fire. So there are four options. It is a single correct option. As only one option is correct. D. Okay. D.
Sir, it's D, A and B taken together is a cause.
Answer is B,
Okay.
sir.
Okay. Why it's not C?
Only one of them can't ignite a candle.
Without presence
No.
of oxygen, there is never a ignition of candle is there. In presence of oxygen, everything presence of oxygen helps in the burning any substance.
Okay, but
So it
it's
is A and B.
But
it
it is
it's
an individual causes, so
individual.
C can be an option because both are the cause of this effect.
No,
Yeah.
taken
So A
together
and B.
will be the option because the presence of oxygen in a cold temperature.
Hmm.
So C is the answer.
So essentially, what this modern science believes is that plurality of causes is something that is not there in science. So like what causes? So in our videos we had example on what basically is a cause between tree, how a tree grows.
The
So there is
example of
seed.
output.
So actually there are not multiple causes that can be that it can have. Essentially it should be so there will be a single cause. So that's why A and B together or something. So in these conditions A and B are factors essentially. That can also taken as a factor for that cause. Okay. Please mute your mic maybe. Okay. Yeah. So problem 4, Ramesh, yeah, please.
So the previous problem, which is the
Sir,
correct answer?
what is the correct answer of previous
A
question?
and B taken together. So there is no plurality of causes in modern science. So there should be a single cause together. Or we can tell there can be multiple factors, but there can be not multiple causes related to it, if anything has happened. So here we have
Sir,
to
is it
tell.
the cause and effect that we have to combine?
Yeah, here we have what question? Which question you are telling? Problem 3 or
Sir,
problem 4?
actually, I
Hmm.
ask you that you told earlier that it was a cause and effect. So,
Hmm.
uh, shall we have to combine together
Hmm.
the cause of presence of oxygen, the
Hmm.
ignition of the temperature it
Yeah.
rises. So, can we have to combine here, sir?
Yeah, it is kind of flow like in a tree.
Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
it's in a
Yes, sir.
tree. If we have a seed, it germinates into a
Yes.
plant. If there
Yes,
is a
sir.
seed, we have to go for water. We have to give it oxygen.
Air.
So it's
Okay,
kind
sir.
of a
Yes, sir.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Got it, sir.
yeah. So this is a problem 4. So this is a let's bring question 2. Okay, just we will go through all the questions and the half an hour we will give on the doubts maybe. If we have the on week 1 pertaining and also these questions if you have further discussions. I think it is okay. Okay. So this is a scenario. So you have to tell which which methods are pertaining to this. So a study is conducted to determine if a new drug is effective in treating a certain medical condition. The researcher randomly assigns half of the participants to receive a new drug while the other receives a placebo. The researcher then compares the outcomes of two groups, determine if the drug is effective. So, can anybody explain what is a placebo? So if the medical people who are working on biology or those who were active during the pandemic days might know what is a placebo, but yeah.
So the
Like a
artificial
control experiment.
Hmm?
the artificial condition.
Uh, is it?
Placebo is
Like a
something.
control in an experiment.
Somebody like only one tell, then we can have.
It's a false effect on your mind.
Mm-mm.
It's a
So,
placebo,
so
sir.
how in this study, so basically they are testing a drug. So how are they testing this placebo? So how can it be?
The
Placebo
placebo
is
is
not
something.
the main content of the drug.
Mm-hmm.
what are the target molecule is not there, but it look like the drug like.
Got
It
it.
look
Yeah.
like same, doesn't contain a targeted molecule.
Got it. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
like if I want to check something effectiveness of a drug, what I shall do is I shall make a white tablet. So a first white tablet will have some basically the drug made in it, the drug put in it. The other one will have maybe only the or not the drug, maybe the base material same. So it looks the same. So it doesn't, so basically we will just randomly give it to people and then check it if the drug is effectively working or not. So the placebo is something. So it basically why it is done. So can anybody tell why this placebo is
Whether
done? Maybe.
actually a drug is working or
Mm-hmm.
only a pill is working on the person.
Mm-hmm.
So to make the difference between exactly whether the drug is working or not.
Okay, but then we can may not give him. Yeah, that's also a formula. We may not give him the thing, and other one we are giving the drug. So what
Sir,
what is?
placebo.
We have to
Yeah.
compare it. We have to
Hello.
compare it. How it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
different
please.
from non-drug. How
Mm.
a medicine, actual medicine, new drug
Mm-hmm.
works
Mm.
when it is compared with no drug.
Got it.
So mainly
It
it will be
might
used
be.
in clinical trials. In clinical
Mm.
trial, they are tested
Mm-hmm.
on the placebo drug
So
with the
yeah,
target.
yeah, yeah. So the thing
Uh,
is,
uh,
why we need a
Compare.
physical placebo to be done?
So it is just
this
to
might
see
be because
the
of
In
the
order to
effect
psychological
of that
effect
compare
drug.
that
their
the
both the
patient
result,
has.
so their
Please one,
effectiveness should be
please
measured.
one. Yeah, one. Correct.
Uh, uh, Maybe because of the psychological effect that the
Mm-hmm.
patient is suffering through the symptoms, and maybe if the drug content, or whether it is a real medicine or the
Mm-hmm.
placebo, whether it is known to that patient, it might be create some a different result. So placebo is given whether or not to see whatever symptoms the patient is experiencing, might be because of psychological reasons. So,
Mm-hmm.
maybe this could be the answer.
Yeah, nice. Anybody would like to add anything?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
So
There
you
are
told
Basically, we
that
want
multiple
to
reasons
check
why
whether the causes are plural or not.
Mm-hmm.
hello.
there are
Okay.
multiple reasons why we select a placebo.
Okay.
The main important one is we
Mm-hmm.
randomly divide the subjects
Mm-hmm.
and we blind them. So the
Got it.
examiner, as well
Mm-hmm.
as the patient, even the
Correct.
analyst,
Yeah.
don't know who is receiving which.
Correct. Yeah.
So for that, we have to give a pill
Mm-hmm.
which is very similar to a drug which you are administering. So that to
Nice.
avoid the bias, we
Nice.
do different placebo.
Great. Yeah, then the main thing that that he told that it reduces the biasness. So that is one of the
Yeah.
important characteristics of a placebo thing. Yeah, nice, great.
No.
Yeah. So okay. So we had moved a lot from the question. So yeah, the essentially the answer is method of difference. So a lot of you have told this thing, method of difference. Okay, so somebody had told on concomitant variation. Okay, so concomitant variation essentially, so yeah, in drug, like if we test the drug effectivity and in this biology, I am not much aware of it, but when they test the so effectiveness of the drug, essentially they have this effect like what mg of drug might get effect on how much. So
Yeah,
there
the
is one
dosage.
study, yeah, dosage, yeah, these dosage studies are also done, but here with the so it is here the thing is it is kind of it is uh, drug and without drug. So here mostly it's the method of difference that is more permanent, more most ideal for it. I think it answers your question. Yeah, answers your doubt.
The comparative study,
Hmm?
uh, uh, that's why it's falling under method of
Method of
difference.
difference, yeah. Method of difference, essentially method of difference is something that it does not have that thing. So
Yeah.
that's the method of difference. That
Okay, good.
factor is not there here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hope it answers your questions, and then can go to the next one. So this is a similar kind of question. So I think I have put more on medical thing, and maybe next time I can put some economist and such kind of sociologist kind of scenarios more. So anyway, the medical researcher is studying a cause of a certain disease. She collects data on the symptoms and medical history of a group of patients who all have the disease. She finds that all the patients had a similar exposure to a certain toxin and attributes the agreement to a causal connection between the toxin and the disease. So what can be the method here?
Method of agreement.
Okay.
It will be method of
Agreement method.
agreement.
Okay. Nice. Okay. Everyone agrees on agreement or somebody has a difference? Okay.
Method of agreement.
Okay.
So it's a method of agreement, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Anybody would like to explain why it is method of agreement and not any other?
Factor A, the toxin is common in all the cases.
Mm-hmm.
That's why.
Okay. So basically, in fact, agreement is we need a common thing that needs to be basically with all the disease conditions. Yeah, that is something that is
Sir,
like
if there is a commonness between two,
mm-hmm.
if there is a commonness between the two cases that we consider, is that
Mm-hmm.
falling under the method of agreement?
Yeah. So in method of agreement, if I get your answer question right, yeah. So if we are if like if some like you have a COVID condition, it always happens because of SARS-CoV-2. So there is a causal connection between SARS-CoV-2 and a COVID-19 condition. So it's kind of a method of agreement, yeah. In all conditions of SARS-CoV-2, you find in all conditions of COVID-19, you get SARS-CoV-2. So this is a method of agreement. So here the causative agent is a SARS-CoV-2 virus.
And when there is a method of difference, so it is basically there is a difference between these two
The
cases,
absence of
right?
that thing. Yeah, kind of, yeah, like that only.
So like that we can consider.
Yeah.
So to compare with an uranium compounds, so there are different compounds having the uranium that has showed that in every compound where there is uranium, there is a radiation.
Yeah.
So like that,
Correct.
a toxin leading into a disease. Here the toxin is present in different foodstuffs or something like that. So that particular toxin in that different foods has led it to the condition. So that the commonness is the toxin which is present in different stuffs.
Great.
So it is Aditya, it is one factor which is causing one common factor which is causing this effect.
Yeah.
We can say.
Yeah. It's a common thing that he told. The commonness give us the method of agreement.
Okay. Thank you.
So, sir, there should be only one factor will be common, na? Not two. Only one. Only one will be there, na? In method of
Yeah, essentially method of agreement, there should be only one common factor that should be there. If we have multiple, then it can basically improve the specificity of the thing. It can have multiple things then. Okay. So yeah, a sociologist. So somebody was asking if I have. So yeah. So I have a sociology. So somebody was from humanities department also. So yeah. So a sociologist is interested in the effects of parental involvement on academic performance. She compares the grades of two groups of students, one group with highly involved parents and other group with less involved parents. She finds that the students with highly involved parents have higher grades and attributes this difference to a parental involvement. So what could be
Methods of
the
difference.
It is method of difference.
Concomitant variation.
okay?
Concomitant variation.
Okay, so now we have two groups. So one group is method of difference and another group is concomitant. Okay. Anybody else would like to answer anything?
Yes, 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 the method of concomitant.
Okay.
Method of concomitant.
Okay. So essentially here, as we talk, so the idea of the, so basically, yeah, maybe what I portrayed, maybe what something I had confused or might have like played with the mind. The thing is here we were considering two groups. One group was highly involved in parents. So
Yeah, highly and
basically,
one is
so it
less.
is highly, so it's kind of zero or one condition. Like it's binary condition, yeah, zero and one. So in such conditions, it's always method of difference.
Difference.
But it's
Yes.
not if there is some gradient or it's like 1% involvement, 2% involvement, and 3% involvement. In such conditions, you can come to method of concomitant. So here, as the things are like zero and one, we don't have a gradient kind of, or like basically it's a black and white. The thing is that's why I think it's Mill's method of difference. So here, the only the group that had more involved parents was scoring good, while the ones that were like parents were less involved were had maybe lower grades. I think
Excuse me.
thanks. Yeah, please.
But there is a gradient because the question is highly involved parents and then less involved parents. There is not involved parents. So I can consider that it's a gradient.
Uh, so the thing is, we had to. So basically, then we had to consider multiple points. So it's not like 2 points are not much to do with the gradient. We at least need more than 3 points to get a kind of flow of understanding the flow of the things, understanding the basically
Okay.
the trend essentially of it. So yeah, might be I might have yeah, the thing with the maybe with the language the thing is, but the idea was this was that this was the idea essentially.
Sir,
Okay.
Hmm.
sir, then in
Please.
problem 2, concomitant variation should not come. It should
Is
be
it?
only Mill's method of difference.
Okay,
Yes.
If
maybe we'll look at problem two. Maybe we can,
like
yeah,
we are
maybe we
seeing
can.
only means the gradient for
Hmm.
concomitant.
Okay.
In problem 2, both were the answer, method of difference and the concomitant variation.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I recall the thing. Okay, maybe we can discuss now. So as two people are asking. So actually, so here, Madame Curie had two options actually. I had so basically the aim was to identify whether uranium is radioactive or not. Essentially, she did two broad studies. One was she took something that had uranium and one that does not, one compound that does not have uranium. So she did this first study. In this study, she got that the compound with uranium gave her, sorry, the radioactivity. So this study is method of difference. The next study, what she did was she took different compounds that had different quantities of uranium in it. So stoichiometrically different. So some might have more uranium, some might have less uranium. So with that, she got that it was which that had more basically stoichiometric so stoichiometrically more uranium that had more radioactivity. So that was
Oh,
method of
understood.
concomitant variation. Yeah. So
Okay,
she
thank you,
was
sir.
involved in two studies. Yeah. So that's why it is two. I hope it
So, but
answers. Yeah.
here, sorry,
Yeah,
but here the question is not use of giving the effect of less radioactivities or more radioactivity. Because the
Mhm.
question was only the presence of the uranium, whether it is going to give the radioactive
Okay.
effect or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Maybe. Maybe.
and that's why it is a concomitant because
Okay. Hmm.
it is present and therefore it gives this.
Hmm.
Then that
Yeah.
is
Maybe.
that is a
Yeah.
part of
Maybe. Yeah. 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 Please. Please.
that is
Please.
that is
Please
a
continue.
part of it. That this kind of a UNM if you
Hmm.
take for the experiment you will get the result. है ना? But
Hmm.
basically
Hmm.
actually we have to see the presence of the uranium that gives the effect of radioactivity.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is
Yeah.
the method of yeah. What
Yeah,
are fees,
true.
Bharat?
Yeah, true. Because of actually the thing it was a previous year question and it was designed with the thing that in the videos I think Madam Curie's experiments were discussed. It was just the
Yes,
direct
yes,
consequence of it. So it's
yeah.
it's it's given in that thought actually. It's
Yeah,
not
and I think
normal.
it is when we talk about
Mm.
this experiment,
Yeah.
different what she has used, different elements, different materials to assess the radioactivity. So different test points are there, as you said. Like
True.
if only two test points are there, then we cannot put it under
Mm.
concomitant variation. But
True.
if you have more than two test points,
Mm.
so she had tested various, as per that video what is discussed in the week one.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has tested various materials which has low, high, medium. So there is variation in that content of the uranium. So the test points are more than two definitely.
Yeah.
So that is
Great.
why it is considered the method of concomitant variation.
Great.
And
Yeah.
she has also tested the
Different.
placebo effect there.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's why difference is also there.
True. Yeah. So basically, that uranium is radioactive is kind of his broad work. Her broad work. So it had multiple.
The video covers that
Yeah. The video
entire.
covers it. Yeah. Mostly it is kind of a continuation of the video actually. So yeah.
So we remembered sir told it was due to method of residue.
Mm, so basically she did also the effect on so she also did work on uranium, polonium. So basically in that one, if something if a compound has uranium and polonium or the other radioactive elements also, so yeah, in that condition, I think method of residues were accurate. But that was kind of a so it was not included in this. The uranium is radioactive that goes down to what other compounds she also discovered. Yeah, that's why the that was not paper
Yeah,
based.
when our professor was explaining what
Mm-hmm.
we remembered
Yeah,
for
yeah.
your query, second
Mm-hmm.
problem,
Mm-hmm.
the answer could be the method of residue could be the answer as per the video lecture given by the sir.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, I can clarify that. So basically, when the first part essentially told that the uranium was something that Curie first started with. So she
Mm.
established that uranium is radioactive. Second thing was she was so to apply residues. We she saw that the other compounds which are also showing radioactivity. So she took the polonium, radium also. So in that condition, he already knew that uranium is radioactive. So here the first question was uranium is radioactive or not. So this was the first part of her study. So after she knew that radioactive is radioactive uranium is radioactive, then only she could go to polonium and radium. So essentially, because so if I had asked maybe on polonium or radium, so maybe there the method of residues was more suitable.
Still, we are not clear with that this concomitant variation. Could
Okay.
you explain? I also
Yeah, yeah.
gone through the class, but
Uh-huh.
at that time also I was a bit of
Okay.
not
Maybe in
having
the
the
last half
clarity
an
on
hour,
that.
we will take that up and we can have discussion from the members also. So maybe they can also come up with some good questions, good statements also. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we were at I don't know, I forgot. Yeah.
Six.
Okay. 6 is done. Yeah. Example
Done.
has been done. Yeah.
Seven.
So problem 7. So which of the following is not a method for establishing causality? So it's a single correct question. It's a short one. Just answer it soon and I can go fast on the next ones. So most of the things we have mostly studied all the things, all the options A, B, C, D. So it's the primer for the question has been done. So mostly everyone is telling D. Okay. B. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. So may I ask like why you think B can be an option? A. Okay, we'll ask A also. Then why B can be an option? How? So basically, it's because I am asking because most of the it's out of the majority kind of. That's it. Anybody would like to answer? Okay. Any other answers? Nobody has said C. Okay.
B is the answer because cause and effect actually we believe in the causes that's to happen. And without the cause there will be no effect. So actually we cannot consider this randomized control trials on that because if you go on doing the trials, taking the trials, the results may be different. So there will not be no one cause to establish a effect.
Okay. Any other answers? Okay, maybe we can go to the answer.
Randomized control trials can look at cause and effect. For example, intervention and what are the results of that intervention. So they can establish a cause and effect.
True. So maybe
Cause
we
and
have, so mostly
Here,
of the, yeah, please. Yeah.
cause and effect is clear, not randomized, na? That's why there is no option of randomized control trial.
No, the randomization is of the participants. It's not of the effects or the
So
cause.
yeah, that randomization is on the case of the trial. So basically, what we told about the placebo thing, it is kind of example of randomized control trials. Just to clear it, yeah. Okay. So the answer is D. So most of you have told it. Anybody would like to tell why D is the correct answer?
Scientific method doesn't include D.
No, it
didn't
is
get
just
it.
giving us the trend. It is not, it is just telling us how the flow of the graph is. Like, for example, the number of COVID deaths. So we just see what had happened today, what has happened tomorrow, point A to point B. So that is a trend that we are looking at. We are not
Correct,
looking at the
yeah.
cause and effect.
Correct. Yeah, trend analysis is with respect to time. With respect to time, how a quantity is changing. So that does not tell basically what is the cause of it. Correct. So the other options, why the other options are actually a method for establishing causality. So essentially, if somebody is telling B, randomized control trials, it was one of the case that we had handled during the placebo effect. Yeah, we had randomized and controlled trials, and essentially we got to know that how a drug is effective. And similarly, the observational studies, how if one of the method of difference and all these are kind of that we basically observe the things. If without one parameter, how the things are possible or not possible, or how the things are happening. So like this, so essentially D would be the ideal answer for this question. Okay. So problem 8. So here we discuss how at the point of view of a materialism, how the mind and body there's a relationship to mind and body according to materialism. So yeah, it's a single correct option. Yeah, single correct answer. Yeah.
A, the mind and body are separate entities with different properties.
Okay. 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 So essentially, yeah, see, somebody told, yeah. Essentially, here the thing is, in materialism, they give more priority, as in the more priority over the materialism, materialist, on the matter than the idea. The idea here is mind. So there is nothing. So in there, in a language of materialism, it is more on the yeah, it's more on the matter basically. There is not something as a similar. So basically here, that's why the mind is dependent on the body, but the body is not dependent on the mind. So basically, without perception also, the body is there. Okay, but that's the thing. The body is somebody saying the body is dependent on the mind, but the mind is not dependent on the body is something might be that the idealism thought kind of thought. Okay.
Yeah.
So here
What is the actual difference between materialism and idealism? Can you specify that in 2 lines probably? So what is
the
the
thing
main
is
difference which we can take out when we talk about both?
okay. Anybody would like to add here anything like how why?
May I?
Sir,
Please.
sir, the body is a existent state and the mind is a illusion state. The difference between the materialism and idealism, we can know about this.
Can you be more clear? Maybe
No.
more layman, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, please.
The
Materialism is somewhat which is existing. So the here the with respect to problem 8, the body is existing there, and the mind is in illusion state. That is without it is a non-conscious state.
Okay.
So just I
In
like to tell.
idealism, idea is given priority, and in materialism, matter is given the priority.
Okay. Anybody would like to answer? Anybody would like to add anything?
In materialism, more preferences or more importance is given to the things which can be seen, felt, touched, like that, like matter, which exist. Whereas in idealism, more importance is given to the ideas which cannot be seen, but they exist.
True.
Like consciousness, the ideas, the thinking, emotions, like that. So idealism focuses on things which cannot be felt or seen.
Yeah, like idealism is more of abstract. Like we can take an example of brain and mind. Brain is something solid which we can measure, we can see. But our thoughts, they come from the mind, so they are more abstract. So the mind and body, they are separate entities with different properties. That is how I would look at it.
Yeah, like that might be true, but in a sense, you have to think yourself as a materialism believer, and then answer it. So these are some schools of thought, yeah. Yeah, these are some schools of
Materialism.
thought. Please.
But materialism is a thing that exists independent of the mind or the idea.
Yeah.
What actually the materialism says.
True.
But in idealism, the idea of materialism starts prior to the material that is in the mind.
Yeah.
So that first the material is exist in the mind, then it will be observed in the world. That's what idealism says.
Yeah.
But materialism is it exists independent of mind, whether mind is there or not. But the materialism will be there. That's what materialism says.
Yeah. Yeah. So like if you want to like yeah, they have added perfectly. So if I wanted to add in 2 lines that you suggested that so the materialist people they believe that matter exists independent of our consciousness. Okay, independent of our consciousness. But the idealist is like reverse. They hold that matter exists in our consciousness. So basically, we think that the matter exists. That's why it exists. So that's the thought process that if I can like deliver it to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Sure. Okay. So problem 9. It's so which of the following best describes the importance of subjective thinking? So yeah, we have discussed about subject, object, and now it has come that.
A. It's all allows us to make a decision.
Everyone is
A.
okay. C A.
A. Mostly.
A.
A.
A. Option A.
Okay. Okay. Anybody who's thinks why is it not like not A maybe? Why is it B maybe? Somebody telling.
Other options are just on objective thinking, and only A is on the subjective part.
Okay. Can somebody tell? Okay, just brief that like we discussed on materialism and then materialism and idealism. Can anybody tell what is subjective and objective? Just two lines. Yeah, just that like he said earlier.
Objective thinking based on evidence, and subjective thinking is based on personal bias and facts and such stuff.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, subjective thinking is on
Personal
perception.
opinions and beliefs.
Yeah,
Objective is in
Person.
relation to a particular object,
got it. Yeah,
whereas subjective is
subjective is
more personal and what
on observer based.
yes.
So okay. So here, as
So it is
most of the most, yeah, please, anybody? Yeah,
no, it's
please.
okay. Yeah, it is a personal opinion and belief, subjective, and it
Yeah.
related to subject. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. So most of you, and it was evident from the explanation that you have. Okay. So another question on subjective thinking. Which of the following is an example of subjective thinking? So it should, I think it will be a very easy now.
B.
B. B.
B. Answer is B.
Sure, yeah.
Yes, it is B.
Yeah. So yeah, that question looked easier after we discussed a lot on that.
Yes.
Yeah. So another scenario-based question. So imagine a
Sir,
person
can
who
you go
has.
to previous question?
Sure. You
Yeah,
want
you
to
can
ask
go to the
anything?
next question.
Oh, okay,
No,
sure.
I was just writing. You can go to the
Oh,
next question now.
sure.
Okay.
So imagine a person who has spiritual experience where they feel the sense of connectedness to something greater than themselves. What is the most likely explanation for this experience according to a materialist? Okay. Okay. Can somebody tell what is endorphins?
Happiness hormones.
Hormone. It's a hormone. Endorphins.
Okay.
They are you could say chemicals released and they blunt your sensation for pains or anything unpleasant.
True. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So basically, as everybody is telling, uh,
Mostly.
it's endorphins because yeah, they in materialism thoughts it should have a basically a object should have uh, basically objective thought is something that is looked upon. Other are more on the subjective or personal thing. So this is also a kind of a scenario-based question. A news outlet reports that a new scientific study has found that a certain drug has a cure of certain disease. However, other news outlets have reported conflicting results about the efficacy of the same drug in this scenario. What is that? So it's a question from the nature of truth, kind of. So yeah. So
It is C. C.
yeah. So
C.
the other thoughts are like kind of subjective. Depends on the
Subjective.
news. Yeah, news. How the news is
Hmm.
happening. The B option essentially says that report may be scientific, so we need evidences to support our thing.
Data and
Uh,
facts.
yeah, so essentially that talks about how we do and what we have to do uh, in our research ahead. So we have to go for original studies and go for evidences essentially to back our idea. So there was something called as organized skepticism and science. So what is the relationship between organized skepticism and science? So can anybody tell what is organized skepticism? Skepticism, maybe, yeah. Sorry. So in the videos we had mentioned this thing, this term, essentially.
Organized skepticism means deliberate skepticism, right?
Uh, Anybody would like to comment on it?
Sir, skepticism means when you are doubtful about something. Like this is my idea. I might be wrong, and
Okay.
when it is organized, then it is more like testing of the hypothesis. Like you form the hypothesis, which is in a particular pattern. So that can be considered as organized skepticism. So according to this belief, I guess if it is right, then B should be the right answer.
Organized skepticism could be taken as, let us say that constructive criticism, in other words, where you look at all that science has to offer, but it would be conditional. Until and unless we can prove it, we will not accept it. Am I right? I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, organized means that basically you have to have a scientific approach towards skepticism. We can't just go and criticize anyone, and so essentially that's the thing how it has a scientific method, and as you had told, so is it that somebody told it is a deliberate? So that is so deliberate is something that I'm not sure. Like in a sense, is it organized skepticism is a deliberate thing or not? Is like or something that is not. I'm not able to think through, but yeah, that's the thing. It's something that is arranged or it has a scientific method associated to a skepticism. So you can maybe say the current peer review process that we have for all the research, yeah, it is kind of organized skepticism. There is a rule or kind of a way that has been done, and it is kind of a kind of common or kind of documented how it has to be done. So that is kind of a organized skepticism. So yeah, so most of you have told the science is a tool used by skeptics to investigate claims. So essentially we have to give evidence and then only we get our papers published. So that is in a lower sense, in a bigger sense to prove science. Yeah, it's a tool that you have to give. So basically not only one scientist give evidence. So a lot of scientists give evidence and then only a new branch of science, maybe a new branch of knowledge comes out. Yeah, B. So yeah, it is not a same thing. So there as some of the options are. So they are related, but it's a tool. So yeah, that's it's a kind of a continuation question that is science synonymous with organized skepticism? True or false?
True.
So okay.
True.
True.
So
True.
synonymous is something that means equivalent.
Same.
Yeah, same. So is science same as organized skepticism? That is something you need to think of.
No. See, I would say no.
Okay.
False.
Then it means
False.
false. Yeah.
False.
It is not organized thing. It
False.
is
So yeah, it's false. because science and organized skepticism are not synonymous. So essentially, science is a tool organized by used by organized skeptics to investigate claims. But organized skepticism also emphasizes critical thinking, reason, and the scientific method that I was telling about to determine the truth of a claim. So yeah, kind of a continuation, and in a sense, broader sense, tells us how the science and the skepticism is connected in a bigger sense.
But science is called organized skepticism is also mentioned in the video.
Organized skepticism is mentioned in the video, yeah.
How
I
could
think
it
so.
be the false?
So essentially, we know that science and organized skepticism is essentially different because so essentially if so basically to validate a science, we need all these methods of skepticism. We go through different critical thinking, reasoning, and some scientific methods to determine whether the claim that you have made is correct or not. If it is correct, then it's add up to the science. So then we get a science. Otherwise, it's only a claim.
Okay, got it.
So that was all, and so now we can go for some questions and what you have told. So hopefully you like the problem sets. So essentially, you have any doubts, you can take it up.
So can you please tell any reference books which we can go through? Because some of the topics, some of the questions I found it difficult.
Okay, so the one of the best sources to go for this is you go for some yeah, sure, and people are free to leave anyway through the whole course, yeah, through the whole session. It's not a issue. Anyway, it's a Sunday. It's how you join voluntarily. So yeah, just talking about the thank you. Just talking about the how the course material is. Most of the material is very so this is they have come up from different sources. I don't know if they have have a single source or not, but you shall get good blogs written about all these thought processes, and also some you can take up on different courses like we have a course called Intro to Research also, so that also talks about it. The thing is, these are some ideas. So course instructor to course instructor, the way this teach also sometimes differs. Essentially, you can read about it, and I think if it complements, it is a nice thing. But otherwise, if you need a directly if you need a directly source, so there's I think Professor Soumitro's another book is there. Uh, that I think on the
Yes,
same
sir, it is mentioned
research
on the slide.
methodology for natural sciences. But so basically the book I have seen it. So it essentially has the same transcript. So basically you have transcripts, yeah. So it's some same thing kind of written on it. But it is if you are more eager to, you can essentially go for it. It's a direct reference book for this course.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody has so I have
Sir,
missed a lot of queries. Yeah, please.
sir, yesterday I could not attend this session.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
are there videos of this session available?
Yeah, the videos will be available. So basically, the three TAs, whoever does the thing, the three. So basically, they will have the videos updated. Essentially, the thing is, I will be a TA only till my month of Feb because I am kind of going for a visit somewhere. So I should not be in India. So they will have the videos uploaded. Yeah. So I think you will
Today's
get the
session
videos.
also, today's
Yeah.
session as well as yesterday's session video will be available.
Yeah. So
Where?
essentially, okay. Yeah. So basically, I can give you the YouTube channel that I would be uploading to, but essentially you will get it anyway. So I've just created a channel. I don't know if it's working or not, but essentially I will give you this thing. Okay, maybe you can
Sir,
find it.
show me the
So will
answer
that
of
link
ninth
be
question.
sent to us? Will that link be sent to us on our WhatsApp number? Means as the session link was sent.
So the basically the for my session, the link would be same actually. This the link this link remains the same. You essentially have to go for the same link. So we are not changing the. So the NPTEL people have suggested that we don't change the link. So the link remains the same, and just the time remains the same. The day remains the same. Just you have to join it.
No, no, for
Sir,
videos, I'm
sir,
asking for videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Video of today's session and yesterday's session,
Mm.
can we get it?
Yeah, you shall get it. The thing is, it will be updated on the SWAYAM site just below the course contents. Like you have week one, week two, week three videos,
Ha,
right?
ha, ha, ha,
It
ha.
will get updated in that one. So, but the thing is,
Okay.
I think it will take
sir,
a bit of time, maybe by
one, one question.
next week.
Sir,
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
sir. Thank you.
hello, sir.
Examination.
please
Hello, sir.
one at a time. One at a time, please.
Sir, I wanted to ask, like, the doctoral exam that we are going to have, that will be in the form of MCQs or it will be in
I'm
the
not
form
getting
of.
it.
Hello,
Hello,
sir. I want
can
the
you hear
question.
me?
Tejal, can you please ask? Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to ask two questions basically. The first one was regarding the proctor examination. So whether
Okay.
it would be in the form of MCQs or multiple selection question and the theory we have to write the
Uh,
answer in para. And the second question was I had asked it in the chat box also. So if we are having multiple selection questions and four options are there, out of which two or say three are correct, and we are selecting only one or two. So how it would be, like full marks will be given, half marks will be given, or no marks will be given in that case.
uh, yeah. So the first thing is that you asked about how the pattern will be. The thing is, mostly the pattern is the extension of the assignments we get it. So it should be on the same lines. But the thing is, I think this course also has a component for subjective questions also in the last kind of videos. So you will also have subjective kind of questions. So that's the thing. You might get subjective or broad descriptive type of questions also. Coming to the
Any
multiple.
scope to have
Mhm.
any scope for referring to the past question paper? Previous year's question paper?
I don't have access to the past question papers, but essentially only the assignment questions they have given us a sample of two three maybe, just to curate the videos. So
All right. All right.
okay, and regarding how the
For
marks distribution for per questions will be, that I am not sure of actually. Uh,
okay,
that I
sir.
can maybe the NPTEL team is the best source to ask that to.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Sir, my question is that. Hello.
Hmm. Yeah, sure.
Raju speaking. My question is that shall
Uh-huh.
there be a multiple answers in that MCQ, or there will be only one answer? Because
No.
see,
Yeah.
if we take the example of some statements and premises are given, and then we have to draw the conclusions. So there are four conclusions are given. They are near to the correctness. So
Yes,
then,
sir, that's correct, sir.
yes, this madam
So
was
like
asking, and
the first question that you saw, yeah, in the this week's assignment, what is truth? It is a multi-choice answer. So yeah, in that multiple things can be correct. So essentially, such questions can come in our exam.
Then we can choose
So
more than one option,
yeah,
no?
more than one. Yeah, you have to essentially choose more than if more than one
but
is correct.
the question,
There
but the
are two
problem
or
is that
three questions.
hello, madam, 1 minute, one
Please,
minute,
yeah,
because
oh yeah, one
the
second.
problem is that when
Hmm.
I gone to this lecture once twice, the most test was given by what is the truth? So it is unique one. So although there were 2-3 options, they are correct, but the space was given that the truth is unique. So while solving this, we just made tick mark on the unique only.
No, no, no. Actually, if it is written, I think MSQ or something, you should go for multiple options. That's the thing.
Yes, yes, yes. So whether there can be multiple answers. है ना?
Multiple, yeah, yeah. It's a possibility, and just it is there just to make understanding, to check the.
According to the points, they are given only if it is 1 point, only one answer. There is no multiple choice answer in that.
Yeah.
If it is 2 points, there is a choice for 2.
Choice.
Otherwise, it is not accepting.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Please explain again.
If it is 1 point, only one answer is correct, and
That's
there is no option for multiple.
That's why I'm saying, no, let it be clear, no, madam. That should be clear. That's
Excuse me.
Yes.
Excuse me. Hello.
Yes.
Actually, I think the question whose bullets are rectangular may have more than one option.
True. This
And
thing
the
is
question
true.
with circular bullets have only one option.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's
This can be a good clue. Yeah. The box ones
No.
are multiple. Yeah.
So in
I think.
that A, B, C, D, it is given that in that.
Excuse me, sir.
that
I have a
answer.
question.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question.
Please.
Sir, I belong to the humanities discipline. My subject is English. Is this course applicable to all the disciplines or just restricted to science only?
The thing is, if yeah, this course has been prescribed to be done from your department, essentially, then and if it is counted as a credit, and you want to include in your credit list, it would be
Yes.
good because you just run this run the syllabus through your department office. Okay, is it okay or not?
Yeah, our university has prescribed this course for the pre-PhD coursework in
Yeah,
this
I know,
Nagpur University.
Yeah,
But
I
it
know.
seems to me a little bit difficult because this is not my cup of, or this is not my area of subject. So
Yeah.
it's getting tougher.
See, yeah. The course title suggests, yeah, it's most on the natural sciences, but the concepts are something that is kind of universal through all the things. But yeah, it's actually a
At the
personal and subject.
Yeah, at the outset when I read that Mill's methods and Hume's method, I was wondering whether it is really prescribed for us or is it some by mistake? It is done by mistake.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
So I
are there
was
any other courses of Banerjee, sir, regarding just research methodology, or this is the only in research methodology and natural sciences is there?
There is another course, I think, on Intro to Research. I think provided by IIT Madras only.
Yeah.
That is there, but that course basically we have to do it offline when we join as a PhD student here. So that essentially has all the things, but all this thought process and what is science and that's just whatever is we discussed today is not completely as a part of it. So that I can tell. Anyway, for
Okay,
that course.
because as sir even said, it is a requirement for us at our university level, so which is
Yeah, got it.
a bit difficult.
Yeah, see, the thing is, the one line only I can tell that which course would be so basically you have to do for your course syllabus. So which course would be perfect for you is something that is kind of basically it depends on your department. Yeah, the department, if they are accepting this course and they want you to do this course, and if you do any other course, if they don't count it, it becomes very difficult for you in the later times.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's true.
So you have the syllabus for all such courses. Just take it there, and maybe they can help you.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, then we can close the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
You mentioned a live session for
It was a
2 week classes on Sunday, the deadline for 2 weeks assignment. How could you help? Regarding the time
nice.
things, it's yeah, so basically the slots we get is something that NPTEL gives us. We don't have much control on it, and so
Sure.
maybe we'll check through NPTEL maybe how this thing can be done or managed.
Yeah.
So we
Okay,
three
okay.
TAs maybe we can discuss this on these things.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for
Have a
sparing
good night.
time on Sunday, and I hope I
Yes, sir.
added some value on understanding.
It was a nice lecture by you.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes.
sure.
Thank you so much,
Thank
sir.
you,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Yeah, yeah. You are free to leave.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.